Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to continue our series of biological classification. In the previous lecture, we studied about the kingdom Monera and its features. Today we are going to see its types. Now, first of all, we have Archaebacteria. Now, these are the bacteria which lives in most harsh conditions, such as the bacteria which lives in extreme hot condition, or I can say hot springs, that are thermoacidophils, which lives in salty areas are called halophiles, and the ones which lives in marshy areas are referred to as methanogens. Now they basically differ from one bacterium to another bacterium by having a different cell wall structure, which is the main cause for their survival. Now methanogens, what are methanogens? Methanogens are present in the gut of ruminants, such as cows and buffalo. Now they are responsible for production of biogas in the dung. Right, now moving ahead to another type, that is eubacteria. Eubacteria from its name is only derived as true bacteria. Now this true bacteria has a particular cell wall as well as flagella if they are motile. Now first of all, we are going to deal with cyanobacteria, that is the blue-green algae in case of eubacteria. They have chlorophyll inside as similar to as having photosynthetic autotrophs. Right, now moving ahead, that is they are unicellular, they are filamentous, they are colonial as well. Now they are found in marine water, in fresh water, as well as in terrestrial. This algae is basically such. Now colonies, their colonies are generally surrounded by a gelatinous sheath. They always, or they are often seen to have or to form bloom over the polluted water, as well as some of these organisms fix atmospheric nitrogen into the specialized cells which are called as heterocyst. What are these? Actually, the specialized cells, right? These are the specialized cells. Now, examples are nostoc and anabaena. Who are these? Who makes the atmospheric nitrogen, who fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into specialized cell, that is heterocyst, are nostoc and anabaena. You must have seen the structure of nostoc. It is having a mucilaginous sheath as well as a heterocyst as given in NCERT. Now moving ahead to another category, or the last category of kingdom Monera, that is your mycoplasma. Now this mycoplasma is the smallest living cell ever known. Right, now it lacks cell wall completely, and it can even live without oxygen, and it serves as pathogenic for plants as well as animals. Now we are coming to kingdom Protista. Under kingdom Protista, some of its features refer that it is a single celled eukaryote. That means that all the organisms which comes under this category are single-celled and eukaryotes. Right? Now, the boundaries of this kingdom is not particularly well defined, I would say. Why am I saying this? Because particularly many of the organisms comes under this category. So that is why it is said. Right? Moving to its categories, that is, first of all, we have the chrysophytes. Under chrysophytes, they include diatoms as well as desmids. What are desmids? They are the golden algae. Now they are found in fresh water as well as they are found in marine environment as well. They are photosynthetic in nature, as well as they are microscopic and found passively flowing on water current, that is called plankton. Now we are going to deal here basically about the diatoms. Now in case of diatoms, the cell walls, there are two thin cell walls which overlaps each other somewhat like this. They overlaps each other like this, such in case of a soap box. As you have seen a soap box, in that case you can see that the cell wall overlaps each other, such as in case of a soap box. Now the silica is present at their outer level, at the outer surface of the shell, and this is called as your and this is your indestructible, these are indestructible shells. Right, thus the diatoms are the diatoms have left behind a large amount of waste in the water, which is called as the indestructible waste is called as the diatomaceous earth. Right now, it is being gritty in nature. That is why it is used in polishing, as well as it is used in filtering the syrups and oils. Now moving to another category, that is your dinoflagellates. In case of dinoflagellates, mostly they are marine, as well as they are photosynthetic as well. Now they appear green in color, red, yellow, blue in color, and their cell wall has stiff cellulose structure or plates over the surface. Now there are two flagella present in it, that is one longitudinally and the other transversely, originating from the furrow which is present in between the stiff cellulose plates of dinoflagellates. Now, under dinoflagellates, we are going to deal here with the red dinoflagellate, that is also called as your goniolax. Goniolax is your red dinoflagellate. Now, there is rapid multiplication in this case. That is why the C basically appears to be whole red. As in case, let me tell you an example. That is the Red Sea. You can see the Red Sea, it whole appears to be red. This is basically because of the goniolax, that is the red dinoflagellate only. Now the toxins released by these groups are so toxic that they may even kill the aquatic animals or aquatic organisms, or they may even harm them. Now coming to third category, that is the euglenoids. Under this euglenoids, you very well know an example, that is your euglena. Now they completely lacks cell wall. They completely lacks cell wall, but there is a protein rich layer present which is called as pellicle, which is called as pellicle, thus makes the structure flexible. Right now they are found in fresh water as well as in stagnant water. There are two flagella present in them, one is long and the other one is short. Now they are photosynthetic as well as heterotrophic, I will say. Why under the impact of sunlight, under the presence of sunlight, they are photosynthetic, while they are heterotrophic as well. They are heterotrophic whenever there is no sunlight or in absence of sunlight. They predate the smaller organisms. Right now, the pigments which are present in these are similar to the pigments which are present in case of higher plants. Fourth category about which we are going to talk is the slime molds. They are majorly saprophytic. Right now, their body moves along the decaying twigs and leaves which are present in plants. You see, right now they are under the suitable conditions. They develops an aggregation which is called as the plasmodium. While under unfavorable conditions, this plasmodium gets differentiated into different forms, which is called as the fruiting bodies bearing spores at the tips. Right now, this was the thing about slime molds. Now let me talk something about spores. These spores are dispersed by air currents, and the other thing that they are highly resistant. They have true walls, and they can sustain up to many years. This is the main point, that they can sustain even up to many years. Now we come to the last or the fourth type of kingdom protista, that is the protozoans. Under protozoans, they are considered as the primitive relatives of animals, as well as they are heterotrophs. Now there are four protozoans basically. There are four protozoans basically. First we have flagellated protozoan, second one ciliated protozoan, third amoeboid protozoan, and the last one, that is the sporozoans. Under the case of ciliated protozoans, we are going to have the example as paramecium. Under flagellated protozoan, we are going to have an example of trypanosoma. Under the example of amoeboid protozoan, we are going to have example as amoeba and entamoeba, which is also known as entamoeba histolytica. Now the last one, that is the sporozoans. Under that, we have, you must always have heard the name of Plasmodium sporozoite. That Plasmodium is the example under sporozoans. Now this Plasmodium is considered to be notorious in nature. Why? Because it causes malaria, right? Now moving to ciliated protozoans. These ciliated protozoans are mostly aquatic and they are very active in flowing because they have a large number of cilia present, right? Now they have a gullet, that is a cavity. They have a cavity which is called as gullet, which directly moves out of the cell surface. Now moving to flagellated protozoans. These members are either free living or parasitic in nature. They bears a flagella, as well as these parasites causes a disease in humans which is called as sleeping sickness. Now moving to amoeboid protozoans. Amoeboid protozoans, now when they are aquatic, when they are found in water, they have silica over their outer cell surface, while these amoeboid protozoans moves and captures the predator by oozing out, or by, I would say, releasing out the pseudopodia. Now sporozoans, they are considered as the diverse protozoans whose infectious spore stage is very famous in causing malaria. That is your Plasmodium sporozoites. Now we have dealt with the types of kingdom Monera and the types which comes under kingdom Protista. Thank you.